What's up guys and fries, it's Couch Potato here and welcome back to another analysis video on my channel. Today I'm diving into one of my favorite new ships in media, Minho x Kitty from XO Kitty. I freaking love this cringy, dramatic, Wattpad coded, low-key kind of Koreaboo fanfiction series so much. The show is the perfect binge-worthy fish out of water story, and with the first 2 seasons done and a 3rd one on the way in February, I wanted to break down my top 10 reasons why Minho and Kitty need to be Endgame. And they are. My reasons will be ranked from least impactful to most impactful. And before we dive in, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're Team Minho or Team Yuri or even Team Day if y'all still exist. Reason number 1. They both dream about each other. Now this reason is at the bottom of the list because personally I don't think dreaming about someone automatically means that you're into them. However, in media, dreaming about someone romantically is an easy, sometimes even lazy way to show the audience what's going on in a character's subconscious. They're also the only 2 characters in the show who both dream about each other. Yes, Kitty dreams about Yuri first, but to me, that felt more like her bi-awakening, like her realizing, oh wait, I could like girls, rather than her catching actual feelings for Yuri, at least right away. And while Yuri does have feelings for Kitty, and it drives me crazy when people say it was just thrown in, it wasn't, you just have to look for it. The fact that Yuri doesn't dream about Kitty actually highlights how unbalanced their dynamic is. Reason number 2, they're both each other's type physically. Okay, now this might sound like a reach, but hear me out. Every person Kitty's been into in the show happens to be Asian. Day, that random guy she flirts with at the bar, Yuri, and even Pravina. It's possible Kitty's just subconsciously drawn to people who reflect that side of her own identity, since she's half Korean and still figuring out what that part of herself means. And then there's Minho. In season 1, he's in a pretty serious fling with Madison, who by the way, is a redhead just like Kitty. Coincidence? I think not! And for anyone thinking, wait, what about Stella? She's Korean like him and he dated her. What are you talking about? They never happened. Reason number 3, Kitty and Minho are both meddlers. Most people watching this show probably see Kitty as the meddler. I mean, she literally calls herself a matchmaker multiple times. She sets up Q and Florian in season 1, plays wingwoman for those 2 random people outside the bathroom at Minho's party, has her sister track down Juliana, who I'm pretty sure is in another country at this point, and give her a number so she can finally contact Yuri after months of being separated. And then in season 2, she gives very unsolicited advice to Juliana about her relationship with Yuri, and even though Kitty was right, she definitely needed to back off a bit. She's also the first to sense and find proof that Stella sucks. That's it, she just sucks. And let's not forget, this entire franchise started because middle school Kitty mailed out Laura Jean's love letters. So yeah, she's kind of chronically involved. But here's the thing, so is Minho. We see it especially in season 1 when he, completely unaware that Yuri and Day are fake dating, tells Yuri to join the hike that Day and Kitty are on because he thinks he's helping out his boy. He kind of forces Kitty to let him help her cook the dinner for Chuseok, and he's the main one pushing to confront Q when he and Day suspect Florian of cheating. And in season 2, he does it again. He's the one who tells Kitty to invite Pravina skiing since they haven't been on a real date yet, and when Kitty hesitates, he literally asks Pravina himself to join them. So while Kitty might wear the meddler crown proudly, Minho has the same tendencies. He's just a little smoother about it. They're both agents of chaos, and honestly, I'm always here for it. Reason number 4, their dynamic and chemistry. The enemies to lovers trope is one of the most popular love story dynamics out there, and for good reason. It's exciting, it's chaotic, and it gives us tension, banter, and a slow burn payoff all in one package. And Kitty and Minho are no different. From the moment they meet, it's just eye rolls, sarcastic comments, petty insults, and that constant I just can't stand you energy while I'm watching like, hey, you two should kiss! Also, if they don't kiss in season 3, I'm quite literally going to get violent. I will admit, Minho is a bit cruel in the beginning, especially the first few episodes to Kitty, but that starts to change once he and Kitty plan Chingusok. But what really makes their dynamic special is how it evolves. Beneath all the teasing, they start to genuinely rely on each other, especially in season 2. Minho asks Kitty to talk to Day for him after finding out his best friend confessed his feelings to Kitty minutes after she and Day broke up, which saying it out loud is so insane. and Minho is also there to comfort Kitty after the whole ski cabin debacle. Even as they grow closer, they never lose that spark, that playful teasing that keeps the relationship from getting stale. It's that classic dynamic where they drive each other crazy, but also make each other better. Reason number 5, their meet cute. Oh my gosh, I have been dying to talk about this ever since I rewatched the series. Their meet cute is criminally underrated. So picture it, Kitty's at the airport, ready to travel to Korea, and bam, she bumps into Minho. He immediately pretends to not speak English and just walks away, which honestly, iconic. Like if I was bilingual, I'd 100% do the same thing. Maybe one day with enough Duolingo. At first, it just feels like a funny throwaway moment, especially when Kitty later realizes he can speak English and totally calls him out on it. But here's why it's actually so important. The first 2 people from the main cast to meet in person, the ones who literally kick off the entire series, are Kitty and Minho.
Coincidence? I think not!
Even though Kitty's technically in a long-distance relationship with Day, one that's been going on for about 4 years, she and Day haven't seen each other since their first meeting. Meanwhile, Minho is the first person she physically interacts with when she begins this new chapter in Korea. It's like the show subtly setting them up from the very beginning. And yes, you can argue that Kitty and Yuri also have this kind of meet cute, with Kitty almost getting hit by Yuri's car and then getting a ride to school. But what we see way more often in K-dramas is the main couple's first meeting being rough or unpleasant. And since EXO Kitty is basically an Americanized K-drama, something people sometimes criticize as whitewashed, which honestly is fair, it makes total sense that the first love interest Kitty meets in person is the one the writers deliberately frame as narratively significant, as he is put first for a reason. Reason number 6, they both love harder. To understand why this is so important, we need to examine both Kitty and Minho's past relationships before they start developing feelings for each other. Let's start with Kitty and Day. In season 1, she's completely head over heels for him, like literally flying across the world just to be with him. And while Day definitely loves her too, he can't show it because he's trapped in that fake relationship with Yuri, NDA and all that. Kitty has to watch the guy she loves pretend to be with someone else, and even though her gut tells her something's off, everyone else just sees her as desperate or delusional, hence the Portland Stalker nickname. By the time Day is finally able to express his feelings and they get together, it's pretty much too late and the damage has been done. Then when Kitty realizes she has feelings for Yuri, we see the same pattern. She's the one who loves more. Of course, it's not Yuri's fault. She doesn't even know Kitty likes her in season 1 and she's already in a relationship herself. But once again, we see Kitty giving her heart to someone who can't or doesn't return that same level of affection. And then there's Minho. At first, his thing with Madison seems casual, fun, flirty, nothing serious, but the more time they spend together, the more he genuinely starts to care for her. He even plans a grand romantic gesture for her, which for Minho is a pretty big deal. But just like Kitty's situation, his feelings aren't fully reciprocated. Minho wants to be in a relationship, while Madison does not. Even with Kitty herself, when he first confesses his feelings in season 1, she's completely caught off guard, mostly because of her complicated situation with Day and Yuri, and he ends up getting rejected. Then in season 2, when he starts dating Stella, it initially looks like she's more invested than he is, because at this point he's only with her to distract himself from his feelings for Kitty. Over time though, he genuinely grows to care for her as well, but once again it's unbalanced because Stella is only using him to get close to his dad, whom she wants revenge on. Like, wow, there are a lot of unhealthy relationships in this show. Like, what's up with everybody using each other? Anyway, both Kitty and Minho are used to being the ones who love harder. They give more, feel deeper, and get hurt for it. And that's exactly why they would work so well together. Because for once, they might finally be with someone who loves them just as much as they do. Reason number 7. A reason, a season, a lifetime. This line comes from a romance article Minho reads in season 1 of EXO Kitty, and it describes the 3 types of romantic relationships. These relationship types align almost perfectly with both Minho and Kitty's dating histories in the series. For Kitty, Day is her reason, her first love, the one who shows her what it feels like to fall recklessly head over heels for someone. Through Day, she learns that love isn't just a fantasy. It's messy, complicated, and sometimes painful. He represents her innocence in love, the reason she starts believing in it at all. Then comes her season, her feelings for Yuri. A season is a time of immense growth and change, and that's exactly what Yuri represents for Kitty. Their connection helps her to reflect on herself and explore her sexuality. You could also fit Pravina into this category because both relationships are short-lived but deeply meaningful, shaping Kitty into someone who's more self-aware and emotionally mature. On Minho's side, the pattern fits just as well. Madison is his reason, the first person who breaks his player mindset and makes him realize that he wants more than just flings and is willing to open his heart to someone. Then comes Stella, his season, which like many real-life relationships starts off fine but ends in betrayal, leaving Minho guarded and tempted to retreat back into his old ways. And that brings us to their lifetime. If we follow the pattern, that next love, the one that finally feels mutual, balanced, and lasting, is them finding each other. Minho sees the best in Kitty, even when she makes mistakes, and Kitty sees the best in Minho too. She still believes he's a good guy, even after he confesses his feelings to her, right after she and Day broke up. And Minho still believes in Kitty, even after he catches her and Yuri kissing while Yuri is dating Juliana.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Honestly, Minho is so much better than me because I would not be comforting Kitty after a mistake like that. Like when she said, "I'm a horrible person," I'd be like, yeah. You are. You kissed someone knowing they were in a relationship. You should feel bad. Reason number 8. Kitty is willing to wait for Minho. One of my favorite choices looking back on season 2 is Kitty's decision not to tell Minho she has feelings for him at the end. The exact opposite of what he did for her in season 1. She chooses to wait. Timing is one of the most important parts of any relationship because if both people are on the same page, it's going to fall apart. It's not just about love. When you care about someone, you also have to be sensitive to their thoughts, their feelings, and what's going on in their life. And honestly, this series starts with Kitty making an impulsive decision, moving to Korea to be with Day. There's nothing wrong with that, but it shows a lack of consideration early on. Not because Kitty knew about Day's financial struggles, she didn't, but because she never really stops to ask how her sudden presence might affect him. She hadn't even been able to visit him since they first met because of distance, and yet she assumes that being around him 24/7 would automatically be okay. It's not malicious, just immature and a bit naive. It's something that she clearly grows out of. By the season finale, Minho is still hurting from his breakup with Stella. He literally says he's swearing off all relationships together, and even though I was furious that they didn't get together, Kitty choosing not to push it shows just how much she's grown. She's clearly taken to heart what Q tells her at Minho's party. Not everyone is on Kitty time. That moment really sticks because it shows she's finally learning that not everything has to happen exactly when she wants it to. Pravina even asks Kitty,
"So, what's more important when matching up a particular couple? Timing or chemistry?"
While both matter, I think the show is advocating for timing being the answer. It also shows growth on Minho's side. He's realizing that even if he wants to be in a relationship, he shouldn't just jump into one for comfort. And honestly, as much as I love that plane confession scene, the timing was so terrible. Like, bro, she literally just broke up with your best friend. Are you dumb? Are you mad?
Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb.
But it also shows that Minho actually listened to Kitty when she explained that his behavior, always doing what he wants, is why Day was truly mad at him. And the reason Kitty is even able to give Minho that advice is because she's learned it herself through her own impulsive choices and the consequences that followed. So yeah, I want Kitty and Minho together so badly, but all good things come to those who wait. That being said, if they don't get together next season, I will be dropping the show. Reason number 9, they look out for each other. In season 1, we see about 3 moments where Kitty and Minho help each other. First, Minho basically does all of the Korean dishes for her chingusok, and she protects him when he goes full Oregon Trail and is basically dying in a bush, thanks to her mashed potatoes while hiding from his date. She protects him by pretending he stood his date up and says she finds him so attractive and that she's one of the many girls he's seeing. I don't know why that's a turn on, but to each their own. He also gets mad at Day for lying to Kitty about his fake relationship with Yuri twice. The first time he hides it under the excuse that he's mad at Day for lying to him, but later he brings it up again, directly asking Day how he could do such a thing to Kitty. And most importantly, he protects her from the condiment she hates, mayo, which her ex-boyfriend of years, mind you, didn't even remember about her. Moving to season 2, we get even more examples of them protecting each other and helping each other out. First, Kitty helps Minho get into a relationship with Stella, which definitely didn't backfire at all. and she's the one who tells Minho that Stella is using him, even though he doesn't believe her at first. And she's the one who comes up with the plan to help him when Stella tries to sabotage his father's and his brother's career. Then there's Minho. He has his driver take Kitty to Bukjong so she can meet her estranged family and even translates for her. What's crazy is that he does this again, even when he's mad at her, because he knows how important it is for her to reconnect with her family. Like, I'm sorry, but that is pure husband and wife goals. And lastly, when Stella finally reveals her true intentions, Minho stays quiet to protect Kitty, after Stella plants fake evidence of moon leaks on her laptop. Also, we have to play this clip.
I've got lots of insurance policies to make sure things go my way. Like the evidence I planted on Kitty's laptop to frame her for moon leaks.
You dare touch Kitty?
Reason number 10. There are parallels to Laura Jean and Peter. Now, I have to save this one for last because Laura Jean and Peter are literally the reason we all got here in the first place, and there are so many parallels between their relationship and Kitty and Minho's. One of them is even called out in the show. Peter himself mentions that Minho calls Kitty Covey, the same nickname he used for Laura Jean.
You know, I think he totally likes you still.
Whoa, no. Nope.
He's calling you by your last name.
Coincidence? I think not!
That's not a thing, Peter.
He remembers every single word you've ever said, but he still pretends to be annoyed when you talk too much.
Then we have the track scene. Kitty pretends to faint to stall Q's race, and Minho, unaware that she's faking, comes running over to check on her. This mirrors the scene in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, where Laura Jean actually faints on the track when Peter confronts her about her old love letter to him. And if that's not enough, they also go on a group ski trip where Minho and Kitty have a heart-to-heart in the hot tub. Minho even mirrors Laura Jean by walking in fully clothed. The only difference? There was no kiss. Tragic, I know. No other relationship in EXO Kitty has as many clear parallels to Laura Jean and Peter as Minho and Kitty do, and that's really important, because those parallels aren't just random callbacks, they're intentional storytelling choices. Kitty is literally Laura Jean's little sister, and if Peter and Laura Jean's story was about first love, Kitty's story feels like a continuation of that, learning that real love comes from growth, timing, and mutual understanding. And the show even confirms that Peter and Laura Jean are still together and are kind of put on this pedestal as the model for love, which honestly, they should not be. Those 3 movies were messy, even though I love them so much. So if their story stood the test of time, it kind of sets the tone for Kitty's journey too, meaning the relationship that mirrors theirs the most might just be the one that lasts. And did I mention he calls her Cubby? Like, none of y'all stood a chance. Day, Yuri, Madison, Pravina, Stella, pack your freaking bags. Check freaking me. It was over the second he started calling her that. Thank you so much for watching. It was so much fun overanalyzing this show and Kitty and Minho's relationship. If there's anything you think I missed, feel free to drop a comment below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.